I just called to say I love you. It's important to say I love you to your friends, to your family. Happy Easter. Easter is come and gone.
It's true.
It was a wonderful Easter. I had a good Easter.
It was a great Easter.
I almost consider the 1950s the Easter of guitars.
Oh my God.
Dun, dun, dun. It was...
That makes no sense.
No,
don't try looking for hidden meanings because
no,
it makes
does.
no
It makes sense because that bunny was just like laying eggs of goodness all through the 50s. We live in this golden age of technology today, right?
There were like very Easter eggy colors on guitars.
And
there
boats.
you go.
God
I knew
damn,
it.
And cars.
Yeah, see?
No, but let's jump up to today, 1987. So we're living in the year, or 2022, whatever year you want to call it.
You can identify the year as however you want.
But if you lived in 1987 and you were young, you were shredding, you know what life really was like. Anyway.
I was 6.
Whatever. You were in Rockingham, though, so you knew what life was like.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, yeah, on a moped. But no, so we live in this golden age, technology, all sorts of, like, we have axe effects. You don't even have to play your guitar anymore. It'll play itself. There's machines that will squeeze
That's
it.
what I do.
I know. You have that at your gigs? I saw it at Neville's. I was like,
I can't be bothered with playing at my gigs.
That's what a looper is, though. I was like, Johnny's still playing, but he's drinking a beer. I was like, this is amazing.
You never know.
The gig of the musician has changed. No, so it is. Like we have loopers.
We have loopers.
We have like self-tuning guitars. Well, we had them. Thank God they're on their way out again. We didn't like that technology.
It was an abomination.
I almost got really funny though. I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, we do. We have wireless guitars. We have everything. Every amp is modeled. We have every guitar is the new. We have MIDI things that came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
And that's like this technological breakthrough. We had chips that you would put in your guitars, all sorts of wacky things, but not a thing compares to what happened in the 1950s.
Nothing. Not even close.
Because we're still playing those same things. The 60s, a pale shadow compared. But let's get into the 50s.
Everything else is just built on that, right? Nothing has been a revolution where like, oh, everything's new like that. We're still sort of doing the same things.
Well, because let's just get to like the first core of like the birth of the solid body guitar.
Yes.
Electric guitar. What they call it, the Spanish style guitar, sort of like the log and everything. But with the invention of, we're going to call it the Telecaster right now, is one of like our forefathers of electric guitar that we know today.
Yes.
This changed the world.
Everything.
It changed it all. It made production cheaper. It made repairing cheaper. It made a sound that we had not heard before.
Showed us all the importance of tone woods. Sorry.
Pause there for a minute. For the haters there. Actually, I had a conversation with a nice guy who's like, he doesn't believe tone woods this week. And it was very respectful. Like, I do, he doesn't. I was like, cool, man. Like, I like your opinions there. I dig it.
It's like a flat earther and a normal person.
Yeah, it's like, you're wrong, but I appreciate listening to you. Just kidding. He's a really nice guy.
I do not believe in wood. Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Sorry.
It doesn't, like, frequencies do not vibrate through different types of densities of wood at different rates at all. It's not real. I'm going to get you, I want to start talking about global warming? Oh, they're like, well, that's different. Or is it? I don't know. I'm not smart enough. I'm not a scientist.
I'm just gonna drink my... I am not a scientist.
Drink your Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Is that what's in here? I thought it was really good.
So we start every day with a little bit of Kool-Aid and vodka. It's
oh, my God. It's going off the rails quick.
Like Beth Dutton. Yeah. Well,
God,
make me a smoothie.
What a woman.
I know, God. I love her in so many ways.
You're nearly halfway through. You just wait.
I know. I can't wait for more.
You just wait.
I'm just starting. But no. So we have the guitars. Let's even talk about these things called tube amps.
Ooh.
They've been around, but they really came into their own in the 50s too. Like, thank you again, Sir Fender, with and then Marshall follows suit later by building Sir Fender.
Yeah.
In England.
You still got to trace it back to okay.
It's all yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And then we have these glorious tube amps that if you turn them all the way up, they saturate and distort and break up. And then people start figuring out new circuits for it, and it's all happening in the 50s.
Tweedy goodness.
Radical designs.
It's funny how people still love that very first Tweed. You know what I mean? Like, that's still a thing. It's not like they got better and now no one wants a 50 style like Tweed thing anymore. But no, everyone wants a 50 style Tweed thing.
No, if you put like, a 50s, like a legit like Tweed or that 61 Vibrolux that's behind us, or and then someone's like, well, I got this cool Axe FX too. Like you have every amp here. Like I think 99 out of 100 will say I want that because not even because of the sound. You can get way more and better sounds out of this unique thing
and tweak it more, yeah. But
it's this cool little box.
Tweed, for God's sake.
Probably ruined and has watermarks.
You can touch and feel the air coming out of it. It's amazing.
And actually sell and make money on it.
That is true.
Too.
One will be obsolete at some point. The other.
That's like saying the robot tuners are obsolete.
To be obsolete, didn't you have to be like important at one point?
And then this
maybe not obsolete.
Then the Les Paul comes out.
Ugh.
And then this changes everything in the Gibson universe, which was the universe of guitars. And then Gretsch is still doing their own thing. And then Gretsch comes up. Well, let's actually get the stereo guitars come out later. Gretsch was one of the first ones. They did the stereo on the bass. Long story. We might even do a whole video on that one. It's kind of neat.
That would be cool.
We don't have it anymore, but that's okay.
Now remember, at this point, they're still thinking like rock and roll is a fad, that it's going to go away.
Yes.
Like rock and roll hasn't even taken hold yet.
What
right?
is Leo Fender's?
Right.
He thinks Hawaiian music will be the biggest thing.
It's sort of like country and western, right?
Honky tonk, as they called it back then.
We're still calling it honky tonk.
Well, it went away, then came back. And now it's honky tonk. You didn't call it honky tonk during the 90s.
No,
Let's call it
kind of did.
Country.
Kind of, sort of.
It's country music.
You can still go honky
Or
tonk.
80s. Ooh, good time. 80s and 90s country, great. And if you haven't listened to Ronnie Millsap ever, and Ronnie, right?
Ronnie Millsap is great.
I think it's amazing. There was a great, I was listening to country this weekend, and I forgot who it was. It was so good. I always thought it was Ronnie Millsap, and it was somebody else. I can't remember who it was. They sound the same. But back in those days, you just listened to the radio, and songs came on. You couldn't see it.
That's true.
Who it was.
Isn't that funny?
I know.
Because now you know what every dude looks like in your favorite band.
Or you know the name of the song.
Or whatever.
It's on, it's on my digital display.
You know all these. You have all this information. Yeah, back in the day, there were tons of songs that in my brain they were by someone.
Looking for love in all the wrong places. I always thought that was Ronnie Millsap. It wasn't. And if you know his name, put it in the comments.
Oh, I was about to say it. Okay, I won't say it then.
You know his name?
I think I do.
Okay, what's his name? I don't remember.
Is it? No, that's.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Keep it. It's a good cover for us not knowing. I know. The Stratocaster.
But you know how I think I do know his name though? Do you remember the thing was where it would be like the like golden oldies? Like you'd watch those commercials like at your grandma's house, and it would be like 79 songs. But that was the part they sang. Looking for love.
I used to get the Time Life books. You remember those?
Yeah.
I had like the flight ones with all like the cool like history of flight.
Right.
I loved the 80s and 90s were truly a wonderful time.
It was.
Don't let it go. Just let it go.
But now I just see Eddie Murphy because it isn't Eddie Murphy who does the like looking for love. Right.
Eddie Murphy was not the right answer, children.
I'm sorry. It's just this flood of memories. I can't help it. This is all guitar related because it's music.
Right?
But yes.
Stratocaster.
Stratocaster.
Les Paul. I mean, it's in the Telecaster. That's all you really have to say.
Yeah.
And, we got the Gretsch and the Duosonics and everything too, but like those three.
I mean, like you could stop right there and be like, okay, the 50s is the greatest guitar decade.
Well, because you look at where it's coming from. Like they came from like all arch tops and hollow bodies.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you have these slabs that are mass-produced, easily accessible to the masses, sort of. They're really expensive still, but much more accessible than these outrageously priced things. And making sounds that had never been heard before.
It's true.
And turning these amps way up.
I mean, imagine if you were, because again, like we're talking about when, like in the 80s, you see the songs on the radio. Well, back then there was no internet. You were, TV was different. So you might not see someone playing a Stratocaster. Imagine if your picture of a guitar is this sort of like
giant,
maybe Gretschy, hollow body thing, or like an acoustic guitar.
Then you see
like
Buddy Holly for the first time on TV.
And you're like, what in God's name is that spaceship thing he's
Who
playing?
is that sexy man beast playing that
glasses?
Yeah, he was good looking. Or like, most people did not know what Bill Haley in the Comets looked like.
No.
He looked like my grandfather. He did. Like that's my grandfather looked like Jackie Gleason or Bill Haley. And he also died very young at 54. But he looked like just, the dude that, works at the insurance agency kind of. But true. He was a rock star, a rock guy, like Bill Bopper. Or the Big Bopper. Bill Bopper.
That's him, looking for love.
You got it, 'cause I heard
Bill Bopper.
A Chantilly lace and a pretty face. I heard Jerry Lee Lewis was doing a version of that, and I was like, ugh. I just want to hear the Big Bopper's version. I'm sorry, it's way funnier.
It is.
It's just I don't know. Like old Jerry Lee Lewis is just not good. Like you just want to know Jerry Lee Lewis of like the 50s. It's just weird when you see like old pictures of him. He's still doing his old stuff, sort of grinding out. It's just weird. Yeah. It's some of these guys need to be frozen in time.
That's probably true.
Like free. I mean, that's tragedy of Buddy Holly when he died. Like he was a young man, but he's frozen there forever. Unless you're Willie Nelson and you're
like
born.
Han Solo. When Jabba had him.
Or just Han Solo. I mean, like Han Solo is frozen forever, like in like our minds. Like,
yes, in our minds. Yes.
Harrison Ford.
No, they rescue it, but yes, in our minds.
No, Harrison Ford, like he is always Han Solo and Indiana Jones. Like you can't, even if you haven't seen those movies, that's so iconic.
Yes.
And I was reading this article about this weekend actually, because this is what I do in my off time. I was reading about how Han Solo wishes there was a character like his sidekick in the Temple of Doom in Star Wars. Ooh. He said he really wished he would have had something like that in the Millennium Falcon as well, because he loved that guy, and that guy's like become, a well-known actor in his own right.
Chewie.
I mean, Chewie's awesome. I mean, it's like another young kid though, just to relate with kids more, I guess. But
okay, all right.
That's what the little
we don't. Maybe there was a kid in the Chewie costume. We don't know.
No, they gave us the Ewoks, so that's pretty.
They gave us the Ewoks
because it was supposed to be a planet of Wookiees in the original scripting of it.
Really?
Yes, and that makes more sense. Like a planet of Wookiees taking out a division of freaking stormtroopers.
Much less comic relief in that version.
Yeah, I mean,
the Wookiees were pulling their
ripping arms off.
Yeah. No, that I would like to see.
If that makes more sense than like teddy bears murdering the elite forces of this.
But like the Wookiee in the Mandalorian, where he's got those things on his knuckles, the little crazy brass knuckle things.
Oh yeah, that's the Wookiee in
what's his name?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah.
Boba Fett. Yeah, that's like, imagine going against stormtroopers of that. You're like, okay, cool.
We surrender.
And the Wookiees like, we don't take prisoners. We make wives. And like, oh no. Horrible. Anyway, still a side note. But but they want to sell more toys. And so you sell more teddy bears.
Yes.
You do. Giant Wookiees ripping off arms. That makes sense.
I don't know. You probably sell all those too.
Nowadays, yes. But there is really
thing, yeah.
We've had great technological leaps. We've gone to the moon. We've got computers in our pockets.
It's true.
We can fly anywhere in the world in a matter of hours. But the 50s did it for guitar.
Still nothing better than a nice Stella or Strata Les Paul.
And the tube amps that were sort of perfected at that time. We have all sorts of other things, like we have tube effects loops. We within the tube world, like things they are built better. Circuit boards in some ways it's more consistent. There's still nothing better than hand wire. I know. I know. You're awesome.
The Dream Rig is still one of those three guitars. Everyone. I mean, I don't care who you are.
You have to take into account.
You're lying to yourself.
I found Jonathan on the extras of Duck Dynasty, so he's very upset.
I'm a cousin. They barely know me.
He's like, they didn't like me. They wrote me out of the will.
That's right. Black Sheep. No,
Speaking of cousins of Duck Dynasty, he ain't good, but he's cheap. Chris Collins, Edward Jones.
God.
And Tideline boats, the best boats you can get. These are my paid advertisements. I have to get in each video or I lose our funding. But check out Tideline boats and blow that website up with views. That's probably the best fishing boats I've ever seen because they look like freaking Fender Stratocasters from the 60s and 50s.
Did you know someone sent me? It was our good friend Mr. Joey Boswell sent me one of the old school the sheets where like it was showing where Fender would source the colors for all the car colors, like which automotive company, and it had the whole list of the original.
It's
like it was amazing. It is amazing, man. It's really cool.
50s, they had something. It was weird to think of such a conservative time, but on the cusp of such transformative radicalism that was around the corner. But then once that happened, the changes were just kind of zany.
Yeah.
But the 50s, like all the companies didn't know what they were doing, so they were taking risks. They were trying all sorts of weird things, and some worked, some didn't. But it's become part of our culture, like because you'll see people wearing T-shirts, say Gibson or Fender on them, or have a picture of that Gibson Les Paul or Fender Stratocaster that don't even play guitar.
Yeah, they're just iconic. They're just
It's like I'll never have a Mustang, horse or car, and I would wear a Mustang shirt.
Sure you would.
Like a Shelby Cobra or something. All day, every day. Or Shelby Cobra underwear. Or push-up bra. I would need push-up bra. I think.
Whatever.
Just thinking. So let us know your thoughts on the 1950s or push-up bras.
Tell us why the 50s were the best that they got. about it.
Besides some of the inherently bad things of the 50s, we're not getting into that.
Well, shh. Whatever.
Under the
all right. Hit like and subscribe. Click the bell. Thanks for hanging out with us and putting up with our ridiculousness.
It's not Kool-Aid.
Probably. Who knows what it is? We'll see you next time.
Sorry, Derek. And cut.
That was great Monday morning.
See what we're doing.